What made the popular kid at school the unpopular kid? He thought it would be cool to bring a loaded BB gun to school and got the cops called on him by another student. My partner likes to tell the story of how she became the unpopular kid at school. She was about 6/7, so primary 2 here in the UK, and a trend kicked off in her class of eating dog biscuits. All the kids were stealing dog biscuits from home and eating them at break time. Unfortunately, she didn't have a dog, and just had to eat normal human biscuits at school. She was ostracized every break time for it. Peer pressure is weird sometimes. He recorded himself shoving carrots, cucumbers, and a bottle of hot sauce up his ass in the back of a van. Then someone found the video and shared it with the whole school. One of the kids at our school lived with his grandma cause his parents died. Dickhead and a group of his mates started harassing the old lady whenever she came to pick him up. Principal was reported this and they ended up getting expelled altogether. His girlfriend dumped him and moved away to a private school, so he started sending videos of him jacking off to the other popular girls in school. A popular guy in my year pissed himself during an exam in our gym hall. Unfortunately for him, the biggest asshole in our year was sitting directly behind him. He immediately stood up and yelled, "He pissed himself." He proceeded to get teary-eyed and say, "It's my energy drink." It spilled over and over before the exam supervisor literally dragged him out of the hall. 2 weeks later he returned to school the unpopular kid and kept a low profile for a while until it eventually died down and he climbed the social ranks once more. That is until an episode of The Inbetweeners, a popular TV show in the UK, aired in which one of the main characters shits himself in the exam hall, and it reminded everyone of what happened, effectively nuking his popularity all over again. A guy at my school got drunk at a party, got naked and inserted his penis into a Jim Beam bottle and ran around all crazy like with it attached but not having to use his hands. At the time it was quite a laugh, but it wasn't until a day or so later people thought about how small the opening was to a Jim Beam bottle. That was basically the end of him. He started calling a bunch of kids the N-word and his life just went downhill from there. She made fun of a girl with cancer. Made a joke like, "Why don't you ask your mom to buy you a wig, I can see your scalp." And overnight, she was the least liked person in school. And 100% deserved it. She stopped handing out free Skittles. Rip Skittle Girl's reputation. He was the popular guy at school and that made him feel entitled to the most popular girl at school, so he raped her. Having a set of keys given to him by the school, WTF. I know, because he was one of the really popular kids. Then using those keys to break into the school and steal $30 CAUD of woodworking, metalworking tools. There was one kid in my class who was the son of our maths teacher. He was crazy popular because he was able to help everyone out with their homework for that class. Turns out he was actually snooping through his dad's notes to get the answers. The teacher naturally got super suspicious after a while, so he deliberately made a fake answer sheet. Of course, the kid grabbed it and noted it all down. It was full of wrong answers, so blatant that anyone who even slightly paid attention in class would know they were way off base. The kid handed out the answers anyway, and in an instant made about half the class bomb. And his popularity dropped like a rock as they all accused him of deliberately making them fail. They moved him to another class and they never had an incident of cheating again. When everyone found out he was jerking off to science teacher, she, in the class, along with his friends. This was 8th grade. His parents gave him money and bought him all this new expensive stuff, and he rubbed it in everyone's faces and everyone kind of got sick of him. We had a kid in our school who acted rich like a lot. New phone. Expensive clothes, expensive accessories, watches, rings, necklace, etc. So he invited select few people, myself included, to his house for a small party. The thing is, when we got there it was a small apartment in a rundown complex. We learned that his parents worked double jobs with extra shifts to pay for all his stuff. My heart broke a lot that day from the way he acted towards his parents and so ungrateful. He shared his dick pic. It was reportedly really small. He got teased so much he had to move away. I swear this has happened in every year group. In every school, since camera phones became commonplace. I don't know why anybody thinks it's a good idea. He was arrested his junior year for raping his 8-year-old sister. He didn't get a Sega Dreamcast, but I did, so I became the popular kid. Guy wasn't necessarily the popular kid, but it wasn't a big school, so everyone knew everyone. I think between 9th and 10th grade he was found alone in his car behind the local arcade beating off. He was called Thumper from that day forward. No idea what happened after graduation, but he has to have some bad memories of those years. He got into legal trouble because he and his team misused $250K from the student union. The university kicked him out. Stopped paying the annual $2 million to the student union, withhold funds. Although that was later overruled by the courts and revoked the privileges granted to the student union. Earlier this year, they stated that they and students are no affiliation to the student union. After 1 year of negotiations, his team was still running the student union because they were re-elected. They bought votes by offering pancakes, waffles and donuts for those who vote for their party, and had street volunteers that would pressure students to vote for the party. It actually led to a law being passed in Ontario that prevented universities to force students to pay non-mandatory fees. The scandal was revealed by a student party called the Rhino Party back in December 2018. January and February, heads started rolling and law and accounting firms started getting involved to figure out how much was spent. It was rumored the figure was anywhere from $100K to $900K. Ontario provincial law makers passed the law in the summer of 2018. Starting fall 2019, I had the choice whether I wanted to pay auxiliary fees to support the student newspaper, NGOs that operated in the school, support the student union, etc. That provincial law was recently overturned by the courts this year, so starting next fall, I am forced to pay fees associated with groups that I don't support. He went from being popular to being a school meme. There's actually a lot of bank statements available that showcase what they bought. When school started, she was so popular she could hang out with anyone in any kind of friend group. She was that beautiful, social, athletic blonde girl. Then, she began hanging out with me. The 16-year-old handicapped girl walking slowly with a wooden cane like an old woman. She instantly got unpopular, but still decided to stick around. And we made our own group of friends. 10 years later, she's a popular jeweler in my old town. And still as beautiful, funny and kind as ever. Started straight up lying to teachers to get people in trouble. Don't know how he thought that was gonna work out. Edit, spelling. My next door neighbor did this. Started telling people I was dealing drugs. To the point teachers heard and I got searched. Problem was, I had more friends. And I admitted to smoking weed. Said to the principal, believe me, if I had the hookups I'd be smoking a lot more than just buying by the gram. So in the end everyone just thought she was a piece of shit. I was just a harmless stoner, straight A student. While she's running around trying to get me arrested or something. It was quite the situation. I think she actually ended up suspended for a while. And now she's a total train wreck of other kinds. That whole family was just miserable people angry at the world. He shit his pants. I remember a guy at my school kept on asking to use the restroom. And the teacher kept refusing. Eventually, he went up to a trash can, dropped true, and took a shit. This was middle school, but nevertheless, folks remember it to this day. The kid had cancer, was super cool while he was doing chemo. Cancer went into remission and he became a total douche. When he was caught taking up skirt photos of girls in school and sending them to his friends. His popularity went from hero to zero as a split second. A girl in my school fingered herself with Kit Kat in the dining hall and then ate it. This guy at my table would play the "no one likes me, I'm the center of attention now" card. As in he would fake sadness for attention, redirecting conversation and drawing the energy from a room. Like the kid who won't be friends with you anymore because you wore the same color shirt. He was quite wealthy too and would rub it in your face. He fucked his friend's mom at a party. Let's call popular Kid A and his friend B. B's mom was arrested, as she should have been, and B faced torment from basically everyone that knew what happened. Kid A continued to brag about his actions. Eventually people gained sympathy for B and Kid A lost his popularity real fast. He was caught selling cigarettes and weed. He reportedly assaulted the favorite teacher of everyone at my school. Everyone loved that teacher because she was so nice, and from then on hated the popular kid. He apparently fucked his dog. Even if it didn't happen, this pretty much fucked his social standing. People found out he was killing animals in super fucked up ways. Held a dog underwater until it drowned. Ran over a cat with a lawn mower. Used baseball bats and machetes. Dude was doing some serial killer level stuff. Now he's in the army. Oh boy, do I feel protected. Rape. He was at a graduation party that I had the misfortune to attend. And his ex, who was also there, was asleep on the couch. He took her upstairs to get her away from all the noise. 5 minutes later we hear a scream and a "Get off of me." She comes running downstairs, frantically pulling up her pants. And runs out. She told us what happened after a few days. The guy heard and tried to break into her house. He's in prison for assault and battery. He gave her a black eye while he was upstairs. Rape. And breaking and entering. She's in therapy. And we are housemates now in college because she goes out with the girl I'm sharing the house with. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. See you next time.